Skinny Hardaway Southern T, back with another EP. Y'all do your boy a favor, y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Whether you're here for a good time or a long time, I greatly appreciate you sliding through. If this your first time, do your boy solid. Don't make it your last time. Hit that subscription button there as well. We talk this good MMA, boxing, sports, parlays, predictions every single day, not just today. Today, we're here with a PFL Finals Championship EP. We got Fabian Edwards taking on Dalton Rosta. My bad, I meant Dalton Rosta. Not only that, we're going to break down the whole card on her, right? We got Sullivan Cauley, Antonio Carlos. We got Alexi Pergunde side. Bryce Murdriff is going to be on here. Popov Epiconsinganow is fighting on the prelim, if I'm not mistaken. Blisterstini, right? Josh Oliveira, coach's son, right? So we got a couple known MMA names, right, for the PFL level for sure. But I ain't gonna waste too much more of y'all time. Let's get into it. We gonna start with the main event. We gonna keep the main thing. We got Edwards versus Rosta, and I'm not really a fan of betting against Fabian Edwards. I mostly bet on Fabian Edwards, right? And the one time I did bet against Fabian Edwards, he knocked the guy out, right? So I have bet with Fabian. He's gotten knocked out too, right? So, but I've had mostly success betting with Fabian Edwards. Fabian Edwards is the favorite in this fight versus Rosta. For as big a fan as I am of Fabian Edwards, I do know that, consistent pressure wrestlers do give him problems, but he has gotten a whole lot better, than he was, earlier in his career, or even better than he was like 2 years ago, right? I can't remember exactly. Was it Johnny Evelyn? I think Johnny Evelyn out-wrestled him, then Johnny Evelyn knocked him out or something like that. And I've noticed since then that, he showed tremendous improvement and not even letting the fight get to the ground. But I am tempted by this underdog that Rosta is sitting at. Man, I'm going to take Rosta to wrestle. If Rosta comes in here and he decides to strike, Rosta could gas as well. I think Fabian Edwards is more of a championship fighter, 5 rounds. He's had more 5-round fights, right? This is a step up for Rosta. But Rosta does have the style that beats Fabian Edwards. But if he can't take Fabian Edwards down, he's most definitely going to lose. But I'm going to go with the dog Rosta in this low confidence. Maybe this is the dog play, a value play, but style-wise, I think if I had to bet, I would feel more comfortable playing that Rosta side in his wrestling. So I'm going to go with Rosta to wrestle Fabian Edwards. And I hope I'm wrong about it because I am a Fabian fan, right? But Rosta is the pick. Dog pick. Probably won't be putting it in the parlay though, so stay tuned at the end for parlays. But Rosta is the pick, low confidence. And all right, in the next fight we got Cauley versus Carlos Jr. I feel this is a bit of a mirror match, right? You got the wrestler in Cauley versus the grappler in Carlos Jr. Carlos Jr. is extremely dangerous with his submissions. Cauley is mostly, ground and pound position. You know what I mean? Kind of guy. So both guys are ground fighters. They have different styles about going at it. I really think this fight is a toss-up. It's a 50-50 fight. This is another fight where, it probably would make a little more sense, to go with the underdog pick in this fight. And Cauley, Carlos Jr. is a guy that I have had success betting on. I also lost that one time with Carlos Jr. where it's like he came in, he just wasn't Carlos Jr. Neither of these guys are the strongest strikers. Who I would edge in the striking, Cauley just outstruck, Paul Davis. Before he did that, I probably would have edged Rosta's, improved the striking. Both guys have improved striking. When I started this video, I was going to pick Carlos Jr., but the more I sit here and think about it, man, I'm going to go with Cauley on that dog money. Carlos Jr. is good on the ground. He can land submissions off his back, right? Do I think he's going to submit Cauley? I think Cauley's going to take him down and probably just control time him, right? Try to wear on the gas tank of Carlos Jr. Carlos Jr. is a little bigger than Cauley, right? So that gives me a bit of a cause to pause. But Junior's wrestling isn't as good as Cauley's wrestling. Now, Cauley's submission isn't as good as Junior's submission game, but I think Cauley is wise enough to not get caught in the submissions. I'm going to take Cauley for the win. Think, he'll mix up his striking and land a couple takedowns and kind of just lay and pray on Carlos Jr. I got Cauley for the win in this. So next fight, we got Paragunde versus Goss. Short, sweet, straight to the point. I'm taking Paragunde for the win. Paragunde is probably going to knock him out. Should be one of the easier, smoother fights on the card. Paragunde for the win. Paragunde for the win. My Tennessee Next fight, we got Dayron versus Murder. The odds aren't out on my book for this fight just yet, right? So I don't know the odds to this fight, but I'm pretty sure that Murder is going to be the favorite. This is going to be a wrestler versus wrestler match, pretty much grappler. I'm actually going to edge Dayron with the striking right over Meredith. Meredith is a decorated collegiate wrestler, right? So this is a low confidence pick, but I'm going to take Dayron as the underdog in this. I think grappling wrestler for wrestler on paper, Meredith Wright is the more, is the better grappler, but I don't think it necessarily plays out that way in the ring, especially if, the fight doesn't hit the ground, because Bryce really almost has no striking game. You know what I mean? So I'm basically just, if Meredith can land his takedowns, then he wins, right? But if Dayron forces him to stand, even though he's a wrestler, but he has better striking than Bryce, then I think Dayron wins. So I want to lean Dayron in this low confidence pick. Meredith could come out here just wrestle, lay, and pray, right? But I think the value is going to be with Dayron, so Dayron for the win, low confidence. Next fight, we got Popov versus Romanov, and I used to be high on Popov, not so much anymore. Now I'm looking at this heavyweight championship like PFL heavyweights have kind of fell off, right? I'm going to go Romanov in this only because he's the dog pick. Seeing Popov quit, you know what I mean, in the fight. If Popov can't take you down, he's going to lose for sure. Romanov is 10 times better on the feet. I think he'll be able to keep Popov, standing. He's the big guy as well. Romanov for the win. Low confidence pick. Next fight, we got Consanganao versus Sanchez, and I got Consanganao. If you're going to bet Consanganao, go ahead and bet up now. I think we're finally going to get off this losing streak with our boy Emperor, right? So we're going to take Emperor by violent, brutal KO. Maybe it's going to be the first round. I'm thinking it's going to be the first round. Emperor Consanganao by violent, brutal KO. High confidence pick. Next fight, we got Carl Williams versus Billastini. I'm going to take Billastini in this. I think Billastini is the much better striker. Williams will actually have the wrestling edge, right? But he's going to be giving up some size against Billastini. Don't think he'll be able to keep him down. Billastini will be able to keep him standing. Billastini for the win. Medium to low confidence. All right, next fight, we got Coach's son, Salavera versus Ramazano. First question I want to ask, who did Joshua Salavera piss off? Because just go look at his fights in the PFL. He's had dog after dog after dog as my dog comes to the room, after dog after dog. They're going to put him here with Ramazano, another guy who is, fight style-wise, he's a dog too as well. This is not going to be an easy fight for Salavera either. I'm going to take Ramazano. Think he's the better striker. Salavera is a jiu-jitsu submission ace, right? I don't think he'll be able to submit Ramazanov. I got Ramazanov for the win. Low confidence because I don't like betting against Josh Salavera. I like him, but Ramazan. All right, in the opening bout, we got Ray versus St. Louis. I chose this picture for a reason, right, to kind of remind everybody that these two guys actually have fought already before, in which St. Louis beat him in the first round by strangle submission. I forget it. Is it rear naked choke? Might have been rear naked choke or something like that, but he beat him before. We got JP St. Louis in this fight. Had confidence. Think he's the better guy on the ground. He's the better striker. Just better all around. JP St. Louis. Last but not least, and probably most importantly, right, this is my most confident pick section. We got Consanganao, St. Louis, Paragunde, and Billastini. You put those guys together, they get you to plus 231. Plus 231, I think that's pretty good odds. Consanganao is a lock for me. St. Louis is a lock for me. Fighting the guy he beat already. Paragunde is like minus 900. Ballestini is the value at minus 180. He's fighting Carl Williams, and I'm expecting him to be able to keep the fight on the feet. But that's all I got for y'all, man. Skinny Hardaway, Southern T. This ain't the past. This ain't the future, but this the present. That's how we rocking, and I'm out. Love. Make sure you subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell a friend.